I've taken attendance for today, and um, if you are done with the grilled zucchini, no, the chicken marinade and the Texas pecan honey sauce, those two recipes are due next week. So if you are done with those recipes, then you are welcome to log off. Or you can stay on and ask other questions about other recipes if you would like. Um, but that's what we're working on today is those two recipes. Again, if you are getting behind in the recipes, I would focus on the chicken marinade and the Texas pecan honey sauce this week. So that way, when you can get them turned in on time without losing any points. Because all the past recipes that have been due and are missing are still going to be going to get a 30% deduction for being late. So I'd hate for the chicken marinade and the Texas pecan honey sauce to be turned in late because you're focusing on things that are already going to be late regardless. So focus on those two so you can get them turned in, get full credit for those, and then go back and address the recipes that you have missing, the recipe quizzes that you have missing. All right. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, so I do have a question here in the class, so let me address that. And then those of you who are online, um, more than welcome to listen in um, if you would like. And I will share my screen. Okay, let me go to my email. Let's add a new page. This is going to be RSTO 1.004. Okay, draw. There we go. All right. Amaya, how can I help you? Okay, Texas pecan honey sauce. Okay. Okay. So let's take a look. Walk me through your process.
You buy them from the
9.59. Okay.
put that in the converter. I know you can't put fractions, so I put 2.66. It's the same thing.
Okay.
So I put to the UPC and those numbers. And then it gave me its 0.7 of it on for the. So I did 959 times 0.7, about 672.
72 is what you said? Okay. Cool. So now let's take a look. So 2 2/3 cups of Texas pecans, so toasted and chopped. Pecans, use pecan pieces from Chef Tech inventory list. Oh yeah, so sorry, I didn't realize. Interesting. Okay. So use pecan pieces from Chef Tech inventory list. So let's take a look at that. Control F. Pecan pieces, 9.59 per pound. Okay, good. And then when using volume to weight conversion for pecans, Dijon mustard, and cumin, set food category to generic and branded. Generic. Come on. There we go. Oh, it was. Okay, so 2.66 cups. Pecan pieces. 019611. Let's double check that. 611. Okay, the first option. Wait, 7 pounds. Let's see if this makes a difference. Okay, that is going to make a little bit of a difference. All right, so what I did, go back to here. Okay, so what I did was I did 2.667 since that six is repeating. And in adding that extra third decimal, it makes just a little bit more accurate, which then brings it to 0.71 pounds. And when you multiply 0.71 pounds, you get $6.81. So let's see if that works. Um, this is for the Texas pecan honey sauce. We said 681. Yep. So, yeah. So, I mean, you're you are on the right track. I think anytime I have 2/3, I'm always going to do that 0.667, just because having that third decimal point gets it just a little bit closer to the actual 2 2/3.
That's all I needed to.
Okay, awesome. Anybody online have any questions for me?
I do have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
For the chicken marinade,
Okay.
the ancho leaves, um, do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, go ahead and tell me what you did.
Okay, so for the AP is $1.10 for 1 ounce. And then the recipe calls for half a cup. And then I did 110 times 0.5 ounces. and I got 55 cents.
Wait, say that again.
My bad. So I multiplied the 110 and then I did 0.5 for half a cup
Okay.
and then I got 55 cents.
Okay. So we can't multiply these two because our units aren't the same.
Okay.
And so we have to convert this into ounces to get our recipe units to get our units to match.
Okay.
And so if it's a dry ingredient, how do we convert volume to weight?
Oh, my bad. I'm drawing blank.
Okay, so we're going to want to use this website for the volume to weight conversions. Okay. Now you have the point 0.5 correct. I am going to go ahead and change it back to generic. Okay, and so my cilantro raw, a half a cup, right? So 0.5 of a cup of cilantro raw is going to be 0.28 ounces or 0.02 pounds. Which one would we use?
The ounces?
Why?
The APs and ounces?
Exactly. Our units already match. So we're going to use that 0.28 of an ounce. So this is actually equal to 0.28 ounces. And now, because this is already the cost of 1 ounce, now you can multiply those two to get your final answer.
Okay, cool. And then I had another question.
Okay.
It's for the soy sauce.
Okay.
So the AP calls for $6.67 per 64 ounces.
Okay.
And then the recipe is calling for 5 tablespoons.
Okay.
So I divided the 64 and the $6.67.
Okay. And what did you get?
I got 0.11.
Okay.
And then I multiplied uh okay, so I got 2.81 ounces for the 5 tablespoons.
And how did you get that?
Uh I low-key kind of forgot.
Okay.
Um
So let's check out. Let's see. Downloads. AP to recipe. Okay, let's use this right here to go through our soy sauce.
Mhm.
So AP to recipe. Your AP was 667 per 64 ounces, and you got 11 cents per ounce, and that is correct. Okay.
Okay.
So we start right here. We compare the AP and recipe units. Are they the same?
No.
No. So we're going to follow this arrow right here. We're going to convert to the same units. Okay. So we want to look at our starting measurements. Is it in volume or weight? Well,
Um,
our ounces is volume, right? 64 volumes. And our tablespoon is also volume. So if it's volume to volume, you're going to use the known conversions. How many ounces are in one tablespoon?
three? No, sorry. 1.5? One? Oh no.
1 tablespoon is
Mhm.
equal to zero point 0.5 of a fluid ounce.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So if we have 5 tablespoons, how many fluid ounces is that?
Um, Sorry, hold on. Let me
It's okay.
make
You can use calculator if you need to.
2.5.
Okay, so now 2.5 ounces. We're going to reduce the cost to one recipe unit, which you already did, and now you multiply.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I got 28 cents.
Okay. Yep, that sounds right to me. So I just check. You can check it in the quiz.
Okay, I will. And then there was one more for this one.
Okay.
For the cayenne pepper.
Okay.
Um, so the AP is 25 cents per ounce. And then the recipe calls for 1 teaspoon.
Okay.
And then for the teaspoon, I got 0.17 ounces.
Okay. How did you get that?
Um, because isn't it 1 teaspoon? Uh, um, isn't it 0.167? I don't know.
Okay. So it looks like if 1 tablespoon is half an ounce, half of
Mhm.
a fluid ounce, okay? It looks like you divided that by three to get that number of a teaspoon, because there's 3 teaspoons in 1 tablespoon.
Yes.
Okay. But what's the issue with this one is that this is a dry ingredient. So this is cayenne pepper.
Mhm.
The only time we can use 1 tablespoon is half an ounce or 3 teaspoons in 1 tablespoon is if it's a liquid ingredient. Okay, so what I want you to do is go back to the food conversion website, the volume to weight conversion website, and put that information in for cayenne pepper and see what you get. And then come back and calculate it again because it seems like your math is going okay. It's just that conversion is wrong. So go ahead and use this website for that conversion and then recalculate it and let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so what is your question?
It's just a generalized query across the
Okay.
menu sets, because I'll get scores that range from, let's say it's a total of 10 questions, 9 out of 10 to 2 out of 10.
Okay.
It's just across an assortment, but I just retook one of them according to the principles you laid out and finally got a perfect score on them.
Okay.
So I think maybe it might just be me using the conversion website for the liquid quantities.
Gotcha.
At the same
Okay.
time, there's bits like the apricot for the what do you call it? The pecan sauce.
Uh-huh.
And that's with the known quantity, the cost you give us. So that should be pretty straightforward as far as getting the answer. So I can find the discussion post with the cost to be great.
You mean for like the apricot preserves?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that should be a straightforward. Yeah, 293 for 18 ounces. Required was
1 cup.
1 cup. The conversion website gives 1 cup equal to 11.9 ounces for the apricot preserve.
Yep.
11.9. So it should just be a matter of the cost being the 8 ounces. You could reduce it to the unit.
Yeah.
So
So it's not 8 ounces. Don't think of 1 cup as 8 ounces. Oh, okay.
Reducing the 18, I meant the 18 ounces to the cost of 1 ounce.
Yes.
Yes.
You got it. Okay. Perfect.
But then I entered the result that I got 181 for my result. Sorry, I don't have the documents on this laptop. I don't
Okay.
my computer at home. I just take pictures on it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so let me just redo the work here.
Okay.
Do that.
Sounds great. I have extra copies of this flow chart? Will this help you? Okay.
Sorry, the cost was 293.
Um, 203 for 18 ounces, yes.
For 18 ounces. Yeah, so I did 0.16 times 11.29 because 2.93 divided by 18 is the only average I was.
Okay, so because you got 0.162, we're gonna make that 0.17. We always round up to the nearest penny. No matter what that third decimal place is. I know that normal rounding rules says that if it's a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, you leave that 6 alone. But because we're talking about actual money, okay? So let me demonstrate it to you this way. 0.1627. Okay, that's not what I want. Hold on.
So no matter what decimal it is, even if it's 0.161, you want it to be rounded to the penny.
Yes, always the nearest penny.
And
So this is 0.1627. Okay. Um, this 27 right here, this kind of weird to think about it this way, but that basically represents a quarter of a penny. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if we were to multiply this 3 times at 16, or sorry, 4 times at just 16, you would get 64. However, if you multiply this times 4, you get that extra penny. Right? So to alleviate that, whatever the unit cost is on our um what am I pulling up? RSTO worksheet. This recipe unit cost should always be exactly pennies, dollars and pennies. Okay, so that's why we're going to round that up to 17 cents per ounce. So that might also be an issue. Sometimes it doesn't matter because what you're multiplying the recipe amount, what you're multiplying it by is like 1 ounce or something. But if you're multiplying by 9 or 10 of an item or units, for example, this is 11.29. So your answer is going to be 11 cents off of my answer, right? If you don't round up to the nearest penny.
And that also brings me to the marinade. Like for some of them, like I know the formulas. I swear I do. I guess it's just the granular part where I mainly points out. But for some of them, like the marinade, I redid all of it. I got point. I got 2 cents because I did the generic instead of the generic and branded. Then I did generic and branded, and then I got the cost of 1 penny. And it
Okay.
was still wrong, so I just had to guess and do 0.3, and that's the only way I got it right, even despite being the formula.
Which ingredient?
The cumin.
The cumin? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the cumin real quick. I know you got it correct, but let's take a look at it. And this is so on the cumin is 1 teaspoon. The recipe amount is 1 teaspoon.
And then once converted, well,
And it's 27 cents per ounce. Okay. 1 teaspoon, and you're going to convert that to US teaspoon. think that's in the semester project notes. Cumin 0.06 or 0.1629. Yep. Okay. So this 1 teaspoon of cumin comes out to 0.14 ounces. And then at 27 cents per ounce. Yeah. 0.0378. So that technically should round up to 4 cents.
So I guess.
Okay. Let me take a look at that. I had a quiz
Yeah, just-
open.
Again, maybe I confused the pounds and ounces on that. I think that's what I did. Maybe I did the pound version 0.01.
So 4 should have worked on that one.
Okay.
But I mean, 3 probably is going to work as well because I probably have given at least 1 penny margin of error. Okay. So ideally, what would happen is if you have a question, take a screenshot or take a picture of this and email it to me and say, Mr. Minsky, I'm not getting this answer. If you've tried 2-3 times and you're still not getting the answer correct, take a picture of your work, the AP to recipe. That helps me identify the error that's going on. Right. But if you just send me an email and say, I don't get it, I'm not getting the correct answer, or I'm getting 2, but don't show me your work of how you got to 2, then it's not going to be helpful for me. All right. Anybody else online have any questions for me? Okay, George. So, tell me this: are you using the volume to weight conversion site for the olive oil? See you next week or on Wednesday. Okay. Um, okay, George. Olive oil is a liquid, so we don't have to use the website. You're going to use that known conversion. What is the recipe amount for olive oil in the recipe? Okay. So, and what is the as purchased amount for olive oil? Cool. So if our as purchased is 18 cents per ounce, that means we have to convert our recipe amount into ounces. So how many ounces are in 1.5 cups? Awesome. So 12 ounces, and it's 18 cents per ounce. You can multiply straight across. You got it. All right, George, don't go anywhere. I'm going to make you the host for this meeting. Actually, yeah, I'm going to make you the host for this meeting. For a moment, I'm going to record, get the recording done, and then I will log back in.